The once vibrant coral reefs teeming with colorful marine life in the South China Sea have been transformed into desolate wastelands of crushed corals, and the Philippines is pointing fingers at China's shadowy maritime militia as the culprit. China has vehemently denied these accusations, adding yet another layer of discord to its ongoing disputes with neighboring nations in the South China Sea. Videos released by the Philippine Coast Guard on Monday shed light on the grim situation, revealing extensive areas of bleached corals along the Rosal, Iquitos, Reef and Sabina, Escoda, Shoal in the South China Sea. These underwater features fall within the Philippines' internationally recognized Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ. Both sites are located near Palawan, a southwestern island chain of the Philippines, even though Beijing asserts its territorial claim over most of this strategically significant waterway, disregarding competing claims by neighboring countries and international judgments. Commodore J. Terriella, spokesperson for the Philippine Coast Guard, reported that divers had conducted underwater surveys of the seabed, uncovering visible discoloration, suggestive of deliberate activities aimed at altering the natural topography of the region. Terriella expressed concern, stating, "The continued swarming for the indiscriminate illegal and destructive fishing activities of the Chinese maritime militia in Rosal Reef and Escoda Shoal may have directly caused the degradation and destruction of the marine environment in the West Philippine Sea," features, referring to the South China Sea areas under Manila's jurisdiction. The Philippine military also accused China's maritime militia of substantial destruction in the region last Saturday. China initially refrained from addressing these allegations publicly, only breaking its silence on Thursday during a regular daily foreign ministry briefing. Spokesperson Mao Ning dismissed the Philippine claims, labeling them as false and groundless, and urged the Philippine authorities not to employ fabricated information to stage a political farce. China maintains its indisputable sovereignty over nearly all of the 1.3 million square miles of the South China Sea, including most of the islands and sandbars within it, despite competing claims by the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, Taiwan, and others. China's actions over the past 2 decades, which include occupying numerous reefs and atolls across the South China Sea and establishing military installations such as runways and ports, have challenged the Philippines' sovereignty and fishing rights and jeopardized the region's rich marine biodiversity. Some of these developments involved extensive land reclamation, often at the expense of coral reefs that were destroyed before construction commenced. In a landmark 2016 ruling, an international tribunal in The Hague sided with the Philippines in a maritime dispute, determining that China lacked a legal basis for its sweeping claims in the South China Sea. Beijing, however, has chosen to disregard this decision and has continued expanding its presence in the region. Recent footage from the Philippine Coast Guard has exposed the severe degradation of the marine environment, a stark contrast to the thriving ecosystems observed just 2 years ago. The University of the Philippines Marine Science Institute conducted surveys of Rosal, Iquitos, Reef in 2021, revealing a vibrant coral ecosystem teeming with marine life. The institute expressed willingness to collaborate with other agencies to assess the current status of the reef and underscored the importance of continuous monitoring and marine scientific research. These incidents have brought attention to the dangers of coral harvesting in the region and prompted concerns about China's potential militarization of atolls through reclamation efforts. Jerry Arances, executive director of the Center for Energy, Ecology, and Development, CEED, emphasized the need for improved monitoring, regulation, and protection of marine biodiversity in the South China Sea. Western marine security experts, along with Philippine and U.S. officials, have accused China of using ostensibly civilian fishing vessels as part of a maritime militia, unofficially advancing its territorial claims in the South China Sea and beyond. These vessels, often referred to as Beijing's Little Blue Men, have been involved in confrontations with fishing vessels from countries such as Indonesia and Vietnam in contested waters. The Philippines has called for greater transparency regarding China's activities in the disputed waters, garnering international support from its allies in affirming its territorial sovereignty. United States Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson expressed concern about coral destruction in the South China Sea, highlighting the negative impact on ecosystems and livelihoods. Japanese Ambassador Kazuhiko Koshikawa also expressed alarm and called for the protection of vital ecosystems. The Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs has consistently raised concerns about ecologically harmful activities by foreign vessels in its maritime zones. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's attempt to forge closer ties with Beijing and cooperate on oil and gas exploration in the South China Sea had divided Filipinos over enabling China's ambitions in the disputed region. The Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative revealed that the Philippines controls 9 features in the Spratly chain, while China occupies 7. However, China has fortified and built military bases in many of its claims in the chain, including Subi Reef, Johnson Reef, Mischief Reef, and Fiery Cross Reef. In contrast, only one of the Philippine-controlled features, Thitu Reef, has a runway. In 1999, the Philippines intentionally grounded a Navy transport ship, the BRP Sierra Madre, on 2nd Thomas Shoal, staffed by Filipino Marines, to assert its claim to the area. During the press briefing on Thursday, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson also referenced the Sierra Madre, urging the Philippines to remove the warships illegally positioned on Reef and prevent further damage to the sea caused by these vessels. Under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the Philippines' national security team has increased the frequency of publicizing findings about events in the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea, promoting transparency and garnering domestic and international support for the country's position.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.